So yeah, did you have any thoughts on Ty at all? Because you told, or Ethan, because you said you like Damien the most. You kind of like the toxic Silver, and you think Michelangelo should keep his toxic self to himself. So, what are your thoughts with Ethan and Ty?
This is going to be so rude, and I apologize ahead of time. Strictly character dialogue. I just want to be clear. I did not voice act with any other actors. I'm sure they're lovely, lovely people. I just thought they were so plain. Like, that was my only thought. It's not hate, it's not love, it's just kind of they're there. And so that would be, from dialogue choices, my thoughts.
That's so crazy because everyone's always like, oh, Ethan is so deep. Ethan's so in depth. Like, he's so into his emotion. You're like, he's so bored. You're like, I can't stand this man. You're just like, he's not giving right now. He's too nice. He's too nice. I need a toxic man in my life.
Listen, I'll go to therapy for it later, okay? But they're just...
She's like, I need a guy who gives me trauma. Or nah, because
now you see why I need to play a crazy person, okay? You gotta let me play the psychotics, because when you let me play the innocent girl and then you do interviews, all you're gonna get is, so you played the sweet baby girl who everyone wants to be in a nice relationship. What do you feel about that? And I'm gonna be like, I hate it. Like,
no, it's crazy because with Ty, I was just like, yeah, he does need more depth. He's kind of just a golden retriever. I'm not gonna lie. Like, to that comment, I was just like, where's his story going? But with Ethan, everyone's just like, I want to know more about Ethan. He's such a jelly bit. Like, everyone's just like, he's just like, he's the real main lead, and you're like, no, I want to be funny for my life with Damien because he can at least invoke emotion with me. With Ethan, it's too stable. It's too stable of a relationship. I just can't. Even with Silver, like, we might be in a toxic relationship, but at least he could provide for me. Like, you're just like, I can't. Yeah,
and I stand by my choices.
But at the very same time, you're like, but Michelangelo's not given because he just cares about himself. So what does that logic fly where the other two are too nice?
The logic is very simple. There's a difference between being invested in yourself and being toxic to your partner, right? Okay, like, one is directed towards me, I can handle that. The other one is you're all about you, all right? If you're gonna be toxic, at least involve the both of us.
But that being said, because Silver initially comes off toxic, but then there's this one thing I added where it somehow made it so that everyone's like, you know what, I forgive you. Is that kind of why you got invested with him? Is because when I was so when we were writing the surf plot, we're like, what happens to him? And then he talks about how his mom had cancer, and then everyone's, when they get to this, like, oh my goodness, I forgive him. I was just like, are you okay with the way he talks because of that moment, or you're like, I love him even beforehand? I was just like, he just gives too much of a red flag, but he could provide for me anyway, so it don't matter. Like, why did you like Silver?
Listen, I feel the need to defend myself. However, I am absolutely not going to. I was all in for the toxicity way before we got justification, okay?
That's so hilarious, man. No, cause like I even made a point where he's like, the world is my oyster, I shall do what I want. Like, to really make, like, he's like, he takes out his golden compartment to really make it like, oh nah, he's not supposed to be here. Everyone's just like, we want more Silver. So when it comes to Silver and his routes, which route do you think he works the best in? Him and Serenity, him and Aria, or him and Layla?
You even have to ask? I will always take that boy for myself, okay?
Well,
Like,
Because in the Layla route, one of the things, one of the voice actor for Serenity is like, he's such a himbo in this route, and I love it because he's just like, wait, you don't love me for my money? How do I get you? How do I get you? And
That is really cute.
so he's just like, you love me for me? He's like, why would you love me for me? It's just like, oh my goodness, what? And it's just like, in the Serenity route, it's giving the Kage-sama Love is War vibe. And then in this one, it's just giving the therapy route, honestly. It's just like, so like, I know your mom died, and I know that's why you're such a a-hole half the time, but like, you're my a-hole. Like, that's literally what his route feels like in that route. Because even you know how you're talking about how you think the Ethan route is kind of just there, bland. In the Ethan route, he's like, so I bullied Ethan. Silver's like, I bullied Ethan because I wanted to invoke an emotion out of him, and it worked. And they're like, and that's how we became best friends. And you're like, that's not alarming at all. Oh, okay. Did you really buy into Aria and Serenity being best friends? Cause like, she just pops up, just like, hey, bestie. And then there's a relationship. It's like, there's my best friend.
Oh my gosh. No, of course. You know, like I said, the friend scenes were my favorite. I loved every time there was a scene with her. I was like, let's go, okay. And I think their conversations were fantastic. And they were well written. And I 100%, I was like, these girls are in it for the long haul. It does not matter which one gets with who.
Oh my goodness, I just find it so funny though. Like, I'm just what a scenario that Serenity was supposed to be with Silver and Aria just takes her man, and then catfight ensues. It's just like, you guys really fighting for me? I mean, I know I'm worth it, but at least let's make a spectacle of it and make some money off of it. Like, I can see Silver doing that. So I'm just like, oh my goodness, like. Yeah, I really like the girl moments. I think it's one of those things I don't see in visual novels enough, where like you only focus on like the heroines or the guys in the story, and so like then there's no room for like actual friendships. Like Cladden, I saw the anime. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
I don't think so.
But it was a really good anime. But I remember this man had this best friend. I'm like, where does this man get his like happy ending? Cause it's only about the guy, the girls fall in love with the main guy. I was just like, is there no happy ending for the best friend, even though he was his ride or die? Like, I just always look at that. I was just like, why is there never anything for like your friends? It's just always about the main love interest or main lead. I was like, oh, this is so frustrating. So then I was just like, we had to have a girl option, right? Like a best friend. And then I was like, should we have two? They're like, I can write two. I was like, okay, we're having two girls, but one of them's gonna be super strong. And then we technically couldn't do it, but we did it anyway. And then Layla came to be, and I don't know, I feel like I like Layla the most out of the characters. Serenity's like a close second. But I like Layla the most because like there's just something about her character where it's like it shouldn't make sense, but for some reason it makes sense to everybody. And that's what I love about her character. So yeah, so you told me you didn't get the secret ending, but you would think it's kind of cool that she has a brother. It's like it adds more to her character.
Yeah.
What would you want to see in a sequel for her though? Like even if she wasn't the main character.
Ooh. I think whether she's the main character or not, I would love to see one that puts them in location-wise their new like career out of school.
Yeah, like
they
5
were
years.
Yes, exactly, because they were all pursuing very interesting pathways career-wise. And I would love to see what does a life look like now, and maybe there's different mechanics implemented depending on who you follow. Maybe it's romance, maybe it's not, right? Maybe it's another relationship drama thing. But regardless, I think the thing I would focus on is the location, because I think sometimes that gets thrown away with visual novels, and I think it would be interesting to have a location be a point of the story. So that'd be cool if it was tied to their careers.
Yeah, I was just like, usually I feel like it would be a lot more darker because usually after college you won't see your friends as much. But with Silver in the mix, it'd be like, I won't let that happen. We'll see each other every time we want.
Flies everybody out for holidays.
Yeah, it's just like, I can see you whenever. So, which is funny because the voice actor was just like, Silver and Serenity are the type of people to get married to each other and not get a divorce, because that would be admitting defeat.
Yep, 100%.
So they're just stuck in the relationship together. So do you think if Aria ended up with Silver, do you think they would have a legit marriage, or you think it would be like a struggle marriage? How do you think that marriage would go?
He would be the mom wife. The type of wife that is like, now honey, you know that's not actually what you said. What did you say? And then he says like, I said this, and she's like, now should we be saying that, or is that mean? And he's like, oh, it's mean. Right, like that's the relationship they would have, 100%.
Now, I was literally thinking like, if Silver had a kid, he would be like, he would spoil him like crazy. Like he would just be dad. He would be the dad. He would just be like 100% invested in that child. He's like, you're having a kid. Oh my god! Like he would be so excited. He'd like, yeah.
I think it would flip him. For some people, don't recommend this method.
Yeah.
But for some people, having a child does flip their whole like view on life, and I could definitely see his view flipping to where he's like, I will be the best I can be for both of you now that this is happening, right? And every life choice I've ever made is like, I'm gonna go apologize, I'm gonna go send like, a check for $10,000 to whoever I bullied, like all that kind of stuff. And I'm all for a redemption arc. I love redemption arcs. I love like confronting pasts and dealing with flaws. So that, I could see him doing that for sure.
It's so funny because we say that for Silver. Meanwhile, Damien's just like, the voice actor for Damien was like, yeah, Damien would probably be a horrible dad.
Horrid.
Like, because he's like, he has too many issues right now. So he would try to be a good dad, but he just would not know how to be a dad. And then you have the voice actor for Michelangelo. He's like, don't ever let this man have a kid. He's like, don't let this man have a kid. But like, I think with the twins, I think they would just be like, the regular dad is just like, let's watch some sports, open some beers. Like they're just like the tame option to have, honestly. Like out of the mix. You would think it would be Ethan, but it's like the twins, because they're just like, I mean, we're just normal dudes. Ethan's a prodigy, so like I don't know how his story would go. There's so many ways to go with his story, but like with Damien and Silver, it's like polar opposites. It's like best dad and worst dad.